I'm not terribly upset about it. Yeah, so let's get started, I guess. I think we all know who goes into the bottom tier here. If I can find them. They don't even have a logo. You know, Nameless is my guy, but we were kind of crushing them in scrims. And I think to start the season, we're not going to be one of the best teams in the league. I think we'll be top half probably, but I think we're going to get better as the season goes on. So I think week 1 out of the gate they're going to struggle. So Protagonist's going to fit into that nameless non-ETC tier. And really, I don't think there's anyone else on that level. Oh, and I've probably got to pull up rosters too. You think I would have been prepared? Thanks for the follow, Boo. Alright, so let's talk out of the playoffs. Now remember, 13 teams will make it in. We already have decided that that Drew Fun Company are gonna have it a little rough this season, right? So that's 19. So I need 5 teams here. Does that sound right? 14 through 20. Oh no, that's not right at all. 18. I just put one in. 17, 16, 15. I need 3 teams out of the playoffs. Gosh, who's gonna be just bad enough? I think I'm going to discount anyone with like a good minors player from the past couple of seasons. You know what? I hate to do it, and I think this is going to bite me in the butt, but my cunt feels like a team that's not going to make the playoffs to me. And it really hinges on Steroid. I don't know how that's going to go. It completely hinges on him. If he plays like a B team or more like his usual standard of play and less like what he did last season, I think this team's really going to struggle, and then Hatham obviously an unknown for them. So I'm going to put them missing the playoffs. Oh, it gets really hard. Just because I think everyone's capable. Like, I think there's a lot of parity this season. And this is probably going to be another pick that that ends up burning me. I'm going to go Pup Stonks out of the playoffs too. So that's Mr. Awesome. That's Mr. Awesome, Irony, Unit, and Button. And again, it's just because I don't know much about Mr. Awesome. I know he played pretty well on defense a couple of seasons ago, making the switch to O. And there's a note he's got a 100-minute restriction, so that's 2 weeks he's got to miss. That could be really bad, actually. I didn't know that. So I think that combined with it feels like they've got like 4. Well, I guess I don't know. I just don't see the star power on that team. Yeah. And I think everyone else in the league, like the majority, have at least one player you can point to, like, wow, they're pretty good. So, who else do we have here? I need one more team. One more team out of the playoffs. Let's see. I kind of, by my own reasoning, I might pick my team, but I don't think we're bad. I'm going to go Harlem as the last team to not make. I think Dude McGuy was probably a little overvalued coming into the draft. The Burt Prime offense just doesn't speak to me. It really does not speak to me at all. And then Mo's pretty good. Like, I think of... Excuse me. I'm dying. I think of Dude and Wetback can carry. They got a shot, but just... Bird on O makes no sense. So it's 18, 17, 16, 15. So I need one more missing playoffs. I don't know. Can I just pick the team with beast mode and call it a day? Probably not. That team's actually pretty good. Where is... Gosh, this is really hard. It's really hard. I'm tempted to pick Poet's team, but Anti-Re is just so good. I'm gonna do it. Holden Gate missing playoffs. Like I said, I think Anti-Re is gonna dominate statistically. I think he'll be a top 3 offender this season. The question I have is the rest of the team around him. Is number 1, is Poet not going to be effective enough as a defense? And then what does Clay look like playing against some better defenses than he did in mLTP with Anti? So that's 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. So now we have like our fringe playoff teams, ones that barely sneak in. And I really don't know how I'm actually going to start with contenders and then go down and see how many I end up with. And reminder, this is just from week 1. I think right now you could say I think you have to throw tiers in there. I think that's an easy. Wait, no, there they are. So tiers in the contenders tier, I think that's pretty safe. Squeeb, monster on defense, moving to San Antonio. I think has just moved to San Antonio, so his ping's gonna be fantastic. Selfie really undervalued in the draft, I think. He and Deptonic should be pretty sick offense pair, and then Ralph's kind of just got to go along for the ride. And I mean, he's a decent defender in his own right, too. So I think tiers are an easy contender here. I think you can throw Returns of the Jedi up there, too. You got Vader, who I think is a incredibly good offender, paired up with Boogie. And Boogie, if he's enjoying himself... Gosh, I got this thing in my throat. I can't talk. Excuse me. So you got Boogie, Vader offense, which I think should probably be one of the top 3, top 4 pairs in the league. And the Freak and Rig on defense. I mean, Freak's not far removed from a really good mLTP season. He's played passably well in minors in the past. He's played in majors. It depends what kind of form he's in, but I would imagine he's not going to have too much trouble with offenders this season. And then paired with Rig, and we kind of know who Rig is, right? Going to get you pubs, can play solid all around. Can carry the flag a little bit, decent defender, and I think it just as Rig as your 4th ball, you got a pretty high ceiling. So Returns of the Jedi in that contender tier. And now, we really don't know if there's any clear contenders. It's kind of a big mix of people at that point. I'm gonna, and I hate to do this. Gosh, I really don't know, dude. There's going to be 3 division winners, so I should at least put one more team up there. I've got tiers. I've got Returns of the Jedi. Those are in the same division. Out of the Juice division, I actually think it's going to be Broscope's team. Gosh, but 2P and Boo are pretty good, too. I just don't like the base mode pick. Yeah, I'm going to put CCC up there as the probable Juice division winner. I think J Swan and FU are a pretty solid offensive pair. I don't know much about Broscope, but from what I understand, he's a pretty solid A-team level defender. And then Perp. I think people hate Perp because like he played at offense last season and was horrible at it. I'm stalking EUs of teams, and he's putting up numbers playing defense again. I think it was just really an outlier of her season, being forced to switch positions last season. I think he'll be one of the better defenders this season, and paired up with Brusco, who's a pretty solid defender himself. I think they'll be good enough for Jay Swan to pack in the Caps. So we'll say they're the probable division winner and contender. And then out of the Tag Pro division, it comes down to it could be Jack in the Blocks, maybe. Cheat-seeking missiles up there too, and I think I like Big Cap Rescue. I kind of like all the teams here aside from the two that have missing playoffs. I think the other four are capable of taking the division. But as far as contenders go, I want to pick Cheat-seeking missiles just because of bold. The question is, can Jern, Mike Jones / Borges get up to snuff quickly? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Cheat-seeking missiles coming out of there. So those are 4 contenders. 2 out of the Rolling Bomb division, and then my probable division winners, Cheat-seeking missiles and CCC out of theirs. So confirmed playoff teams, obviously going to put Blue Suede Poos in there. I think we'll start off maybe like, I don't know, halfway up in the standings. Like, I don't think we're going to come out and start crushing people. Yeah, I'll be putting this on YouTube, Robin, for sure. I'm just going to clip this segment and stick it in there. So I think we'll start kind of like a mid-level team, just solely because we got a lot of relatively inexperienced players on the team. KL has played up at higher levels before, but not for a substantial amount of time. He's got to adjust a little bit. He's doing some things that he used to be able to get away with in B team that you can't get away with now, right? Logi, kind of the same thing. Although I think Logi's really been underrated by several other power rankers. He may end up being the better offender of the two. Maybe not stats-wise, but just as far as overall play. KL obviously shoots people out of their shoes constantly. RKT and Sugar, a little bit aggressive, and I think they'll be able to tone that down throughout the season and really form a solid defense. So I think there'll be a little bit of growing pains for us, but we'll be pretty comfortable in the playoffs by the time it's all said and done. Big Cap Rescue, another one I think easy playoff. Easy playoffs for BCR. I think Colmo, I don't know how to say his name, so I'm probably mispronouncing that. Colmo and Big Bad probably going to be one of the better defensive pairs this season. Who else is on that team? And then Flaccid Trip, consistently underrated, as is Tinderfella. I think that's a really dynamic offensive pair. They'll be competing for the division for sure, and pretty comfortably in the playoffs regardless of what happens. So I almost was tempted to put them up in the contender tier. I just don't know. It's hard to put those top heavy teams. I don't know. It's hard. Who else we got in the offs? 1, 2, so 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll probably put a couple more in here. I think Get Re or Die Trying probably makes it in pretty comfortably. Amy and Remo, just a really good start to a team. Victor, not a great season statistically last season, but I don't know. Every time I see him play, I think he's slippery, and I think he's good enough alongside Remo to bring in caps. And similarly with Go, I think Amy and Go, I mean, they won't be a top deep pair, but they're going to be plenty good enough, and they both bring plenty of value on the other side of the map too, right? So I think they're pretty comfortably in. Who else? This hurts me to do. I'm going to put Miami comfortably as a playoff team. And I hate to do it because of Jarvis and how he ranked us just last night, but I think first, obviously very good player. Even on, I mean, no matter what position he's playing, it's a heck of a first ball to have. I like Aster a lot. The Soul Cake pick was interesting. I saw him playing tryouts and TPM a few times. You can tell, despite the ping, how good of a player he is. And so he's good. I don't know if they can win it all. Just with, I don't know. But comfortably in playoffs for sure. Jarvis good enough to play alongside first. So, yeah. Overall, just pretty solid team. The question is Soul Cake as they get into the playoffs. I think he's going to be their limiting factor and the reason they get knocked out potentially. But comfortably playoffs for the Dolphins. And then who else do we have? Okay, I think Sunday's team going to be a comfortable playoff team. Boo and Porps will be one of the better defenses this season. I think Porps massively underrated. Has always dominated B team. So I don't see why that defense won't be one of the better ones in the league. And then 2P just kind of, I mean, he's just kind of insane. I don't love the beast mode pick, but is he good enough for you guys to make playoffs? Absolutely. So they're pretty comfortably in. I'm going to put Thundercaps up here too. I know my list is getting kind of long, but a lot of teams make playoffs. So Thundercaps comfortably in that tier. Space Tiger, I don't know how he ended up with that many TCs. He is severely underrated, if I can find them on the roster sheet. Yeah, there we go. He plays, I mean, I don't know, maybe like his stats aren't good from the past couple seasons, but if you've seen him play recently, like the guy's kind of cracked. Like he's not holding a ton, but like he brings it. He knows how to bring in caps. Like his defense is really good. He'll be a really good two-way ball. And then you put Acuron on the team, who I would say struggled in minors last season, but he's going to have a really easy time soloing a lot of offenders in this league. Like the quality of offender he played against last season, it's so he's going to have such an easier time this season. And then you pair him with Damebat, who I don't know a ton about, but is one of those manipulation station pits, so he's probably pretty good, right? And then Slob to round out the offense. She's not horrible either. Like I think people see Slob as the pretty clear weakness to this team, and she probably is, but is she good enough along Space Tiger to be a playoff team? Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to put them comfortably in the playoffs. And then the last ones, Jack in the Blots. I hate to even do this just because it's just so close with every team. I don't know about the 8-Arsh Omnivore O, I guess. Like Jarvis said it too, I don't know how to read 8-Arsh. He's inconsistent. Like sometimes he's played at a high minors level, so I mean he's done it, but he's also played like a pretty crappy B teamer at times too, right? I think Blob's gonna pop off this season. Chucky, I don't know a ton about. Typical Land Before Timer, always a West Coast player. I don't know a ton about him. And then Omnivore is the interesting pick to me. Was KL's O partner last season in B team, and KL liked him a lot, and he was on our draft. Pardon me, he was on our draft board. But is 8-Arsh going to be the partner for him that KL was? I don't know. Gosh, and again, every team this season is just so close. If 8-Arsh can't be consistent enough and Omnivore is not able to step up to the plate, that's going to be a fringe playoff team. This one may be a little controversial. Hotties in the fringe tier too. I like Hype a lot. I really don't know if I like anyone else. I mean, Overkill supposedly was the hot steal of the draft. I don't know a ton about him, to be frank with you. So my read on him could be completely wrong. I don't see Overkill and I'm a Horse as a good offense. I mean, Horse was always this, like when he was on Cavaliers last season, it was clear Seven was kind of carrying that deep pair. So he's for a while, I think he's always been that worst of the pair on defense. And is he going to be able to transition to offense at a high level? I'm not really sure. And I don't know enough about Overkill to really be confident that that's going to be a good O pair. Hype and Taurus, I think, has the potential to be a really good defense. I really do. Taurus, obviously not a good season last season. Seemed like he was just really disinterested and didn't show up a lot. Looked kind of washed. I think if they can get him to commit and really focus on improving, Hype is a just really energetic guy, wants to get better, good A-team defender, you know. But I don't know. It's just the availability makes me nervous. How much Taurus is going to care? How much Horse is going to care? It feels like with 18 teams, you got it. And varying levels of experience, the ones who are going to grind more are going to benefit more. And I don't know how much this team's going to grind, and I'm not confident in the position switch from Horse, so I'm gonna leave them in the fringe tier. And then the last one, West Coast offense in the fringe tier, and I think they're lucky to end up in this spot. I mean, you know what? Oh. Gosh, I really don't know. I think they could very well, when I put them in the fringe tier, I think, I hate to do this, but I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to trust No Name to coach Spheroid up. I'm going to switch Mike Hunt and West Coast. PK and Tag Prof, I don't know. It really doesn't do it for me. I know Tag Prof has the Dallas ping. I know he's good. PK, I love PK. Struggled on B team a little bit last season. And that's, I mean, obviously it's a team game. Like, you could put me on some bad B teams and we wouldn't win the game, right? So I don't want to say I'm calling PK trash, but I think of the offenders this season, he's one of the least skillful potentially. And is Tag Prof going to be able to carry this time around when he doesn't have Sadness next to him? I don't think he'll be able to. Berging JH as a defense just doesn't really do it for me. I know JH put a pretty good B team season on defense, and again, he's got the Dallas ping from what I understand, but I don't know. It's just this entire roster just doesn't really inspire confidence in me. And like I said, I think it could easily be fringe tier too. Like, could we see him in the playoffs? Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me, and that's probably a crappy reason, but I see other teams getting better and being better than them right off the bat. I think it's just hard. So anyway, that's the rankings.